Okay, I'm going to make a remote bubbler alcohol feeder today, and I'm basing mine off of the Walmart brand travel size mouthwash bottle, and then the PVC fittings I have in my area are these Lasco made fittings. I know some exact dimensions vary depending on the manufacturer of these things, particularly the inside here. This is a plug, so the only crucial dimension is this outside one, so it fits inside the pipe, and this inside one may vary, but as luck would have it, this safety top, if you just pull the top off, you end up with that. And it just so happens that that fits in here perfectly. I won't need a small piece of, thin wall PVC to fill the gap in here with the cap. The Energy Shot caps are loose in here. They rattle around. They'd need some shimming with something. But this one, I almost won't need glue, although I will glue it. Basically, how these remote bubbler feeders work is what I have here is a shallow dish with some water in it, and then the bottle also with water in it inverted into the liquid. Now as soon as the cap, or as soon as the rim of the bottle is above the surface of the liquid, it can suck air in and exchange that volume for water that's coming out. If there was a hole in the top of this wouldn't work. It would simply all drain out. The liquid can't escape because it needs that volume exchanged with air, and the only time that happens, the only time that can happen, is when the liquid level down here drops below the mouth of the container. One thing I'm noticing, and one thing I suspect that will be a part of my design, is the size of this bottle's mouth makes it so whenever you get a bubble, you get a lot of liquid spilling out. That may also have to do with the surface of this liquid here being so wavy when that happens. So essentially, one of these bubbler feeders is an alcohol feeder that is simply a basin. You're feeding fuel to the stove from an open basin, and you're replenishing that basin with a bottle like this. And so I'm thinking that the opening, that large opening, and so I'm thinking with my bubbler feeder here, rather than drilling out the large portion of this cap, I'm going to drill a small hole and test it out in this dish here and see how it works. So now here I've drilled roughly a 1/4 inch hole. I'm not exactly sure what size it is, but it's relatively small compared to the opening of that bottle. So I'm going to see how that works. It doesn't work at all. Okay, I've reached an exchange rate that seems fairly controlled. And that's a 3/8 hole in the cap. Now for the air exchange vent, I've just center punched a divot right there, and I'm going to drill down into the cap. You can see it kind of poking through. So now I've drilled through the side there and intersected that hole I drilled down through the edge. I've placed it roughly that far down from the top, and I've chosen to do that because when this is pressed into the cap, it's going to come down to about there. Okay, so I want that hole just above the bottom rim of this cap. The reason why I've decided to try it that way is I want to recreate the situation we had with the water bottle, it being surrounded by air above the liquid level. I think if the hole to replenish the air is below this level, it may cause problems. But we'll just have to finish this thing and see how it works. Okay, I've flattened out a spot for my outlet barb. I wasn't originally planning on using one of these, but I was just going to use a little section of that brass pipe. But seeing how this is going to be, I can't solder to the plastic and I can't use epoxy. I ended up using one of these. This one's just one for a gas-powered, radio-controlled truck. And you can see how my hole in there intersects the bottom of that bowl quite nicely. Well, it seems to work very nice. With the fuel flow blocked, I got it's just sitting there nice, and when I let it go, got real nice controlled flow. Here's the finished product. Mine likes to be just a little higher up off the table. This got 9mm legs. This thing's working great. I haven't glued it or anything. That cap is just jammed in there.